Yeah, let's go. Alright, okay. This is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. This is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling.
Running this team for a year. Peckish for a little action.
Stand up, everybody look alive. Say, come on, come on, come on. We're gonna get it now. Hands up if you're ready for a fight. Say, come on, come on, come on. We're gonna win it now. I don't need you to believe in me. I know how to change my destiny. Sit down, about to rewrite our history. Rewrite our history, rewrite our history. Can change the whole world, gonna take it over, gonna start it over. Don't you know that we could be a new beginning, fighting till we're winning. Tell me that you're in it. Don't you wanna be a superhero, a superhero, a superhero? Don't you wanna be a superhero, a superhero, a superhero? Anybody could be, anybody could be, anybody could be.
Thinks about each of the Robins. Dick, a clearer version of what Batman was meant to be. Dick asks Batman if he's going to be a member of the Justice League one day, and Batman tells him no, he's going to lead it. When John was trying to reform the Justice League, Black Adam felt he wasn't ready, and he tells John, and you and I both know who should lead a new Justice League. When Deathstroke attacked Titan's tower, he thought there was only one person worth killing, that being Nightwing. Today we prove a point. Sure, I can kill every single person here, and no one would care. But you, Richard, the prodigal son, the chosen one, they'd care.
I always wanted, expected, to grow up and become him. And the hero bit, I'm still all in. But that thing inside of him, the thing that drives him to sacrifice everything for the sake of his mission, that's not me. I don't want to be the Batman anymore.
Dick doesn't want to be Batman. The idea of becoming what Bruce has become is something that he resents and he hates. He wanted to become something more than that. And that's something I feel like he has done. From being the rightful successor of being Batman to leading the Justice League, Nightwing is always being praised as what Deathstroke called him, the chosen one. Here's a good example of the difference between Nightwing and Batman. You can't afford a single mistake. Anything less than excellence means death. Now practice. It's okay to make mistakes. You can't get good at anything without being bad at it first. That's why we're practicing. So let's see it in a real fight. Against you, we can't keep destroying training dummies. I'm not actually a billionaire anymore. You're a little more vulnerable than a training dummy. If we're both fighting all out, I could never make yourself vulnerable. You're not gonna hurt me. How do you know that? I hurt someone today. Remember, you can't trust anyone. I trust you. While Batman can be cold, Nightwing can be warm. While Batman can be brutal, Nightwing can be compassionate. While Batman chooses to embrace the darkness, Nightwing will try to find the smallest sliver of light in the darkness. So for a man that resents it so much, why is he the best choice to be Batman? As Bruce said, Dick is a clearer version of what Batman was meant to be. Both Bruce and Dick had to watch their parents be murdered right in front of them. While they're alike in many ways, they're also very different.
You grabbed power, and with that power, we've made a world where no 8-year-old boy will ever lose his parents because of some punk with a gun.
While Batman does want to instill fear into criminals, he wants to bring hope to those in need. He wants to bring hope to Gotham. Hope so that no other little boy has to watch their parents be gunned down right in front of them. I believe a more clear version of what Batman was meant to be is a hopeful one. While Batman constantly struggles between the light and the dark, Nightwing always finds himself in the light. Dick has more than enough reason to be just like Bruce, but yet he's not. You're better than me, Dick. What did you say? It's like you said. Half of your life isn't a masquerade. I let this mask take over my identity. I am Batman. I will always be. I've left myself nothing else. A clear version of Batman is someone who doesn't have to be just Batman. When Superman had to go away for a while, he wanted someone to be there for John, to be a friend to John, so he asked Nightwing to be that. And Superman tells Nightwing that he couldn't think of a better role model than him. What I think makes Nightwing such a pillar or one of the most important characters in DC Universe is that he is hopeful. He's the embodiment of heroism. He's kind. He's compassionate. He's a true role model, an inspiration, admiration, and something you just look to be. Basically, as Deathstroke called him, he's the chosen one.
Batman's universe has some of the most memorable characters in comic book history, right? I mean, we got the Joker, we got Alfred, but we also got Robin. There's been a lot of Robins over the years, but this video is going to be talking about the first Robin, Dick Grayson. There's been a lot of interpretations of the character across so many comics, shows, movies, etc. I think the best version of the character, however, comes from the Teen Titans show back in 2003. Before I talk about why I believe this Robin is the absolute best version of the character that we have gotten, I just want to say a few things. First of all, this video is heavily opinionated, obviously, but this is my channel, so I am automatically correct on whatever I say. Also, keep in mind that this is discussing the best version of Robin, that's Dick Grayson, and not the other Robins like Jason Todd or Tim Drake. And this video is going to be discussing and focusing on Dick Grayson as Robin primarily, and not his alter ego into Nightwing. That's a video for another day. Dick Grayson is such an interesting character and has such a great personality and set of skills that I feel like he's not done justice, especially in more recent iterations of the character. For example, in the DC animated movie universe that ran from like, I want to say 2014 to 2020, you know, with Justice League War starting it off to Justice League Apocalypse. I forgot the title of that movie, but you know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. But Dick Grayson was done so dirty in a lot of those movies. He should have gotten more love for sure. Teen Titans, however, was an amazing cartoon that I think did Robin perfectly. Before we talk about why, let's discuss some other versions of Dick Grayson's Robin I think was done great. Young Justice had a great Robin, alright, just for an example. That was a great Robin. This version of him had great leadership, personality, which I think are two key traits of Dick Grayson. He was funny, brave, you know, he showed his leadership skills, being the other members of the team. I think this was a great version, but just wasn't quite the best in my opinion. There was also the version from the Batman TV show from 2004 that also featured Dick Grayson, and that was a really great Batman cartoon with really great character development for everybody. Robin there was a great character, but he was younger and had a more childlike whimsicality to him, which is a fine trait to have, and he was a great character there. But I believe like the childlike whimsicality, him being a little bit more younger in that show, just didn't make him the best iteration of the character. Now we can go on for like hours about each version of Robin, right? But I think you guys get the main gist. There's been so many good versions of Dick Grayson because he's a really great character. But getting all those out of the way, I think the Teen Titans Robin is the absolute best version of Dick Grayson that we have gotten so far. And let's just get started on the why. To start off, this version of Dick Grayson is a fantastic leader.
Concert's over, punk. I've heard enough. Titans, go!
It's not only because of the fact that he's the leader of the Teen Titans, and he has a strong command presence in the show, amidst people who are arguably way more powerful than him, right? I mean, we got people like an alien, and someone that could transform into a T-Rex that he leads. But a big reason as to why his leadership skills are really highlighted is the lack of Batman in the show, funny enough. Robin really benefits in the show with no Batman in it because it helps to make sure that he's not put in a shadow of Batman, you know, it doesn't make him the second, doesn't take away the spotlight from him. And because of that, I think it helps to enhance his leadership skills, helps to enhance people seeing him as the go-to person, you know, as the main focus of the show. And there has been references to Batman in the show, but other than that, we never see him, which, like I said, I think works great to make Robin stand out more. And I get how some people may be disappointed that Batman maybe wasn't in the show, but I just think it was actually really good that they didn't, because it helped showcase Dick Grayson's skills as a leader and someone as a quote-unquote go-to. And in other versions of the character, such as Young Justice, he was great there too, but that show, you know, established that there were other heroes. I mean, like, the entire DC universe was essentially in that show, and they all helped each other pick up the slack and help each other out if someone needed it. But the thing I liked about Teen Titans is that it showcased Robin solving his own problems, for the most part. And if he needed help, it only branched out to the other Titans, you know, the other characters in the show. He didn't go to Batman or any other big name for help, which I believe helped to show his confidence and how he doesn't automatically think of needing Batman's help, which gives him that sense of leadership that you kind of feel and gives him that kind of like that go-to, like he's the main character, main protagonist. He can do things on his own, which I think really is a good trait to have. It's his confidence that's really highlighted in the show, because in other versions of Dick Grayson, you know, he's always there with Batman or the Justice League, and they're there to kind of help him out in most other iterations, you know. But in this show, there is no Batman, there is no Justice League. It's really just him trusting himself, being confident in himself to be able to solve problems and do things on his own. And I think the lack of Batman, the lack of Justice League, really benefits him in that aspect and really makes him stand out as a great Robin. Outside his leadership, though, his personality is just really great. What I love about it is he's very mature, like already for someone of his age in the show.
So early. I could ask you the same thing. I love sunrise. The promise of a new day. Anything's possible. You always so cheery this early? Pretty much.
He's always making sure that the other Titans are okay, which is great. And you can see by the way he talks and the way he acts that he's really tough mentally and physically. But at the same time, he wasn't extremely dark and brooding, you know? He was still making jokes, still lighthearted. Traits that are very important in the character of Dick Grayson. And I think Teen Titans balanced that perfectly, because it's what I imagine someone's personality to be when they're trained by their Dark Knight. But they are also naturally just lighthearted and funny. The show balances those two personalities perfectly and molds it into like a great version of Dick Grayson. Almost damn near perfect in my opinion. I think a lot of this is also owed to the voice actor as well, Scott Menville. The voice actor fit really well for the character, and I think it's my favorite voice for the character of Robin of all time, honestly. I'm surprised I haven't used his voice for like other iterations, because I think it just fits really well with Robin. Another detail I love about this version of Dick Grayson is that although Batman's not present in the show, you can tell that Robin and him have a strong relationship and still respect and consider each other family. It's obvious because there's a bunch of references to Batman that is mentioned by Robin that imply that, you know, he's calling him the best and considering him his father.
Who knows? I might even become like a father to you.
I already have a father.
No problem. I can help you train. I got a new computer-simulated fight sequence in the gym.
I've already trained with the best, and apparently it wasn't enough.
And some versions of Robin just don't have that aspect, you know? Some versions of Robin have him leaving on bad terms with Batman, and it may be a plot point that some people do enjoy, but for me, it's something that I don't think fits at all with the character of Dick Grayson.
You don't know him like I do. He manipulates, pulls strings, anything to get what he wants.
I thought we had the same goals.
Things change. I changed. The game's over, Batman. I quit.
Robin, wait.
On top of all of this, this Robin is very strong physically too, very acrobatic. You could believe this Robin could keep up with powerhouses in the show, you know, like Raven. He can go toe-to-toe with people like Slade and other powerful enemies. And I really love this aspect about the character, and I really love when shows and media and movies really just hammer in the point of how strong and physically capable these characters are supposed to be. And Teen Titans does that perfectly. The way Robin fights and moves in the show is not only entertaining, but it's how you expect someone to be that's trained by Batman, that's trained to be a master acrobat would fight. And I think that's just great, and I'm really happy that they highlighted that in the show, and that's just another reason as to why he's the best version of the character. So yeah, I mean, big reasons as to why this Robin is the best is because of his leadership, especially with it being highlighted because of the lack of Batman in the show to potentially downplay him, right? His maturity is there, his sense of humor is present, his strong relationships with his friends is all there. He has great physical and mental capabilities, and he wasn't an absolute perfect character. He had flaws, like being Slade's apprentice. I guess that's not really a flaw, it's just like a plot point. But like a very well-written protagonist, you know, he has those challenges to face. and the way it's written in the show for Dick Grayson was done very well. The writing in the show just in general just worked out perfectly, you know. The writing was really well done, and they took everything that was great about Dick Grayson and amped it up to 11. And I think I just cannot stress enough how not showing other characters like Batman, the Justice League, other heroes besides the Teen Titans was so beneficial to showing how great of a leader, how great of a character that Robin is. And I'm really glad that they went that route with the show. And I know other versions of the character do a lot of similar things, like for example, Young Justice's Robin, which I keep bringing up because it is a great version. Yeah, he does similar things, but I believe that just the aspect of the Teen Titans Robin having to rely on himself a lot other than other characters like Batman or other big names in the DC universe really just helped to highlight his leadership skills, his decision-making skills, and everything in between. And it's not to say that the Young Justice's version of Robin can't do those things for himself, but I think it's just a subtle thing to have not showing those other characters, and it's something really distinct to me that really brings out and really stands out the great qualities of Dick Grayson that I just don't think that other versions have captured, even in the comics. And that's why I love the version of Dick Grayson from the Teen Titans TV show. He just encompasses everything that's great about the character, and like I said, amps it up to 11. Let me know what you guys think though. Be sure to support the video in any way you can. I try to put in so much effort into these videos for you guys to enjoy, for me to enjoy, for everyone to enjoy. Alright? Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Subscribe especially because there's a lot of people that watch and aren't subscribed, and I try to make these kind of videos weekly. So if you like it, be sure to keep coming back, subscribe, you know, share it, do whatever you can to support the video, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye, people.
For a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up, first shot, come strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious, somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, nope, y'all can't copy yet. Bad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music, I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. Could I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town? Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT shit hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back question. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people, spread it across the country.
Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Here we go back, this is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put
kick it, thank you. Yeah, I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me. Go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat. And I'm eating at the beat like it gave a little speed to a great white shark on Shark Week. Raw, time to go off, gone. Deuces goodbye. I got a world to see. My girl, she wanna see Rome. Caesar make you a believer. Nah, I never ever did it for a throne. That validation comes from giving it back to the people. Now sing this song and it goes like, raise those hands, this is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. I got my city right behind